nowadays, so more and more recently, people at work are like, you gotta speed it up. And I'm like, not my thing.
Do I though?
I mean, I do because I'm at work and it's my job to do what they tell me. But I'll be at work. You know what feels really good to me?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is just a me thing. Maybe probably not just a me thing because there's 7.5 billion people in the world. But
it's actually closer to 9 now.
No shit. Wow, that's terrible.
World pop. Oh, I guess it is 7.8. I thought it had crossed 8.
Told you.
Shut up, loser.
So
fucking. What bean? Anyway, yes. What feels good?
So yeah, with for me, it's something. It's like feeling observed. No, feeling seen.
That's good to you? Like you like that?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
think about it. It's not like I'm naked in my bedroom and someone's looking at me through the window.
I know, but like observed as in like work observed, like they're coming to observe you to see how you're doing, or
no. Like
okay.
Like God, I don't even know. Like I couldn't even think of an example. Like someone noticing your concentration face.
Okay.
Like if you were talking to somebody and they're like, I like your concentration face. You'd be like, what do you even mean? They'd be like, oh, you make this face when you concentrate.
So someone like took the time enough to notice what you do. That's
like
a little tick or something.
It's like feeling like
someone cared enough to pay attention to something.
Yeah, it's like you are the pilot of your own life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the pilot seat.
Yes.
And you interact with people, and you feel like the way that you are represented to them in their mind is directly correlated always to the ways that you interact with each other while you're together.
Yeah.
You forget a lot of the time. I mean, how often do you think about people that you're not with?
Depends on who we're talking about. If it's like
people that you're not
really
with.
Outside of like the bounds of my work hours.
No, I mean, but
not very often. In general, not very often.
Not very often. So you rarely think about your parents or your family when you're not with them. You rarely think about Julie when she's at work, and you rarely think about your cats while you're away.
Correct. Like my mind is focused on what I'm doing at the time, and extraneous, out of mind, out of sight things. Actually, out of sight, out of mind is actually
I actually feel that a lot because you know what? I level with you on that. But I do. I mean, I think in like tangentially to my day-to-day, like the task at hand thoughts and things like that. I will have like I'll think about friends or family or people that I think about people who are important to me.
My mind, and occasionally I think about it. Yeah, but I mean, I would say
exactly.
more times than not.
It's more related to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. But I forget that other people think about me. Think about people who... I forget to think of myself as somebody who exists to other people while I'm not around.
I guess that makes sense.
So, to be observed, for somebody to have noticed something that you didn't intentionally display, or it just makes me feel close to that person, and it's a warm feeling for me.
Fair. And
somebody at work told me, it was completely unexpected. This dude is like completely deadpan, rarely smiles, very quiet.
Sounds like the complete opposite of either of us.
Yeah, but he's really nice. His name's Michael. That's not his real name.
Yo, did that guy you told about our podcast ever come by again?
I haven't been in drive-through since that day.
Damn.
But I'll get back there one day. I'll tell him. I'll talk to him. He'll be like, "What the fuck, man?" I'll be like, "Sorry, it's been 4 weeks." Yeah, we were at work, and he pointed something out about me, and I felt so close to. Well, not close to. You know what? He said it, and I was like, I was so surprised pleasantly surprised that he would notice something about me. I don't know if that's just like me being really, really, really lonely, but
I don't think so.
yeah, I mean, you don't think so? But he was like, he has this way of speaking to it, so interesting to me. He goes, well, yeah, I notice you like your little things that you do. You like to clean stuff like really meticulously, and because like they tell you to find something to do. And at my job, the whole place is fucking dirty. There's grime everywhere because the grease just like thickens the air.
Permeates everything, yeah.
So I would like, they're like, find something to do, and I was like, okay. So I took a plastic knife and I was like scraping the grime off the inside of the trays that hold the wrapping paper for the sandwiches. I was like,
Yep.
he was like scratching. He's like, I see you do your little meticulous cleaning things. You must really enjoy that. I was like, I really do. Oh my god,
You know,
Michael.
I like, this is similar to your point, but
Mhm.
I like it when people randomly ask questions that are pertinent to me, but that are clearly meant because they were curious about something, and then I was the one that they thought of to ask the question.
It's such a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I also find benefit in prompts. So like someone prompts you to think about something, or someone, oh, bean just fell off my chair, or someone asks a question that prompts a discussion, or when I'm having like this podcast and someone asks a question in chat and it prompts us to lead on another tangent. Like prompts are always nice. I think open-ended things just don't benefit me much. They're like, oh, do
But I
whatever,
think,
or like
but
talk about
okay,
this, and I'm like,
but a prompt is open-ended in a way as well.
that's fair, but like,
But it does have a direction to it, as
yeah,
opposed to just like just go.
an aimless, just like go do this, and I'm like, okay, well, what style do you want it done in, or something like that, you know, like.
Yeah, you want more specificity.
I want at least like 2 or 3 layers of detail, and then you can leave it open-ended. Like I want it to be nested within a subject, and then I want a little bit of detail sprinkled in, and then I can go off and do it.
God, that's so specific. But while we're at this juncture, I took these out of the fridge. I bought these today. It was $5. These are. Let me see if I can get a. Just make sure I get a good. Okay. Molson Canadian. You know my father.
Mm-hmm.
Molson Canadian is his middle of the road beer.
Okay.
He rates it a 5 out of 10. He says it's what beer is. It's what beer should be.
Huh.
But then his favorites, they go all the way up to 10. But this is like,
That's like
if you were gonna rate your,
for like a standard beer.
yeah, he's like, that's.
It's like
beer.
Bud Light. Or is it better than Bud Light? Bud Light is like what I would rate as like the average like beer that people just go drink. You know what? Actually, no. Corona is what I would rate as my like average go-to beer.
Really, Corona.
Yeah, 'cause
Interesting.
it's like middle of the road. There's nothing fancy about it. Bud Light and all those like Miller Lights and all that shit. It's just like a mass brewed like bottom of the barrel.
You know what's a fucking. Well, this is mass brewed as well.
Well, I know. So is Corona,
But I was talking to Dad about beer one time, and I asked him what he thought about Bud. Now, the difference between Bud Light and Budweiser, I'll tell you, is 1% alcohol. That is it. And the packaging. That's all.
Wait, between what?
Budweiser and Bud Light. Bud Light is 4%, Budweiser is 5%.
What about the caloric content, though? Is that different?
I have not checked. I don't care because...
I think that's where the light comes in.
Well, that's fair, to be honest. I hadn't even considered it. But I asked my dad about Bud. I don't know much about Bud Light, but my dad's opinion on Budweiser, I was like, what do you think about Budweiser? And he goes, I was like, what? I had somebody describe Budweiser to me as horse piss. It was the mother of a mutual friend of ours who works as a school teacher. A high school teacher, yes. Yeah. So her mother said that Budweiser is horse piss because I would drink it when I lived with them. And I told my dad that, and he goes, more like rabbit's piss because it's so weak and flavorless. I was like, holy shit. So anyway, that's what he thinks of Budweiser. He likes Molson Canadian more. This is something I'd never seen before. Molson Canadian cold shots. It's 4 cans, 236 ml per can. I don't know what the cold shots about it is. Oh, also, it's they're 6%. And it was $5, so I picked them up. And I thought the packaging was a bit interesting. The way to open it is... maybe not is, but this is how I did it.
Huh.
It like
It just folds open on the bottom?
unfolds from the bottom. Yeah.
I feel like some people
So
are here
yeah,
for
I feel like I'm a slow person because
like a
that
lumbering
guy
giant.
more like yes,
Fucking
like a lumbering giant, but like a
tall
lumbering
ass.
giant that like really likes normal sized things and doing normal sized things. Like if a giant really liked gardening,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, because
So you're a
I
normal
noticed
person instead of somebody who is
I'm a normal
over
person.
hyped about getting things done in an excessively fast manner.
Yeah, I'm just more relaxed about stuff. Like this guy pointed out to me, and it really made me start to notice the way that I prefer things to be. I prefer not like. I was just thinking, it's like if I was gonna write music, what if I just wrote it real slow, and it was just really like hanging on the
Relaxing.
back of the beat. Yeah.
Did you watch
just
the video
like
that I
chill.
made last night?
Oh, the storm? No, not yet.
You should.
I definitely think I will. No, not immediately, but yeah, for sure. But I was just like I like things to be slower. I like relaxing. Like when I make my breakfasts on Saturday morning, I don't even care how long it takes. I'll cook for like 2 hours, and then when I'm done, I eat the meal. That's it. You
Fair
know,
enough, yeah.
I'm not like gotta get it done, gotta go, gotta do, gotta. I just like being like chill out. Like I feel like people don't chill out enough.
That's definitely true. They definitely don't just chill out enough. That's one thing I never get about Julie. Julie likes to be. I mean, like, Julie just can't chill. Like, she can't do nothing. Like,
Mhm.
I don't do nothing very often, but sometimes there's periods where I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit down and like relax. Maybe scroll through my phone a little bit.
I seem to remember reading something about how. Let me see if I can find something relating to this.
Even though we have like, well, I don't know if it still applies to me, but like, remember how we were super ADHD back in the day?
Yes.
I think that part of that is the ability to be content doing nothing sometimes. I don't know
In
if
a
that
way,
makes sense.
just because your mind just like
Runs out of things.
passively will keep itself going
Yeah,
on
exactly.
whatever's
Like,
there,
I could
if
be
anything.
amused doing just about anything. Like, I could be amused counting rocks or filming a storm for 3 hours.
Exactly.
Even though it requires just sitting there, there's still an attentiveness to it.
There's still I mean, you're still operating, but you're like operating in a state of low operate. Anyway, I can't find anything about it, but I remember hearing or reading something some time ago about how men have the ability. Of course, I'm not trying to make this a battle of the sexes thing,
Of
but
course.
men can do nothing.
Yes.
Men can.
Do you think that's
Like,
where, like,
if you ask a guy what he's thinking about and he says nothing,
more often
that's what
than
he
not,
means.
that is actually nothing. Like, sometimes
But
I'll breathe. I'll be like, and Julie will be like, "What's wrong?" And I'll be like, "Nothing. I was just breathing."
yeah, but
And she'll
she's
be like,
in her mind.
There's literally nothing. Like, you couldn't be thinking about literally nothing. And I'm like, no, like, actually, though, I'm staring at this wall. It's like when Squidward is in that like empty room and he's like, all the words are floating around him.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, there's literally nothing there. I'm just thinking
Exactly.
of a white room.
But then the idea is that men can do nothing, women cannot. There's got to be something going on, something in the mind, something they're considering, something they're going through.
Do you think that might
And
be
I
like a
can't
societal
imagine.
expectation? Like
Mm,
based in like a psychological like grooming that the culture has bestowed upon the females of the
It's like
species?
I can definitely see that. I mean, nothing. I think basically nothing anymore can't be attributed to pathways or habits or patterns set forth throughout history. I'm actually reading a super. Okay, my last book I said was super interesting. This is actually super interesting. Let me grab it. Super interesting, and you'll listen. You're gonna perk up as soon as you see what I'm reading. Okay. Now there are breasts on the cover, so I won't show them.
Okay, what's it called? Ooh, yeah. You're telling me that you're going to enjoy
I
this.
knew it. I knew you would enjoy it. So this is I don't know what to call it, and I don't quite know the definition of the word, but I'm going to call it a compendium.
Okay.
So the
An
author of this,
aggregation.
a conglomeration even,
Okay.
but good word. So this and its companion, which you can see right there
I can indeed.
on my shelf, they came together. They're 2 volumes of the same ilk, written
Okay.
by Robert Graves, and it's basically a compilation of everything he could find out about Greek mythology, but not just Greek. He has like references, like Palestinian references, and references from Syria
So
and
it's like
Sumeria
cross-checked between
and the
all of the
Hittite.
surrounding.
Yes, like a cross-referencing of all available information he could find on mythology from like 3500 BC to now. Wait, more like 3500 BC to like 1000 AD.
Yeah.
But he just like cross-reference like all the bits and pieces, like, and really it's a lot of it is just bits and pieces from different authors over time, like not even just writings, but art and architecture and oh god, it's just amazing like the depths this guy went to looking for all this information. Not only that, but then he stitches them all together in what is a more cohesive version, a more complete version of the story being told. But not only that, he takes it all and he looks at what was happening in the world at the time of the reference
So
that
it's
he's reading from.
So it's like contextually placed.
But the thing is that he finds an actual, like, in-life analog for the reason the myths are written. The one example I keep coming back to is there's a story about Apollo killing a python at Delphi.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he interprets it, of course, he says actually in the, I think it's the author's notes, he says it's all conjectural because it's just the way that he interprets all the information that he found over his like 5 years of like studying all this shit every day. But he's like, oh, Apollo killing Python at Delphi is something about like actually these certain people moving in and abolishing the matriarchal progression of the civilization there and overbearing it to become a patriarchal, which is the basis of male-based monarchy and patriarchal lineage or patrilineage down through the ages.
Huh.
And I'm like, isn't that the coolest shit? But it's all, instead of writing, it's like, oh well, these folks came over and they killed our goddess. No, it's like these folks came over and they abolished our old system and put in their new system. They write Apollo came over and he killed our goddess.
Yeah, okay. So it's like
So
the
it's
fucking
like,
scientist in Chernobyl being an aggregation of all of those different scientists, actually.
yes, something
Literally
very
like
similar
that.
to
Okay.
that. Yeah. So I think it's
That's cool.
so reading through all this stuff, it's like it's actually really interesting because it gives context to the establishment of, oh god, I just read it today. Context to the establishment of like a patrilineal succession of ruling, because it was all matrilineal, like, and then the queens and the triad goddess. It's really difficult to explain because it's like a graduate level writing style.
It's like a thesis.
Oh, it really, yeah, in 2 volumes. It's very
That's what
good.
it sounds like, yeah.
I haven't gotten barely at all into it at all, but it's really, it gives me context. And of course, I just could have used some brushing up on the Greek myths, which I haven't really studied in depth since grade 5.
Probably something like that.
But yeah,
it's like,
yeah, and there were some things that I never actually ended up reading the story of, like the birth of Athena. She was born from Zeus's forehead, right?
Yep. When he cracked
It
it open.
turns out that the reason, well, the mythological context is that he conceived a daughter with a being named Methus, and an oracle told him that the next child he conceived with Methus would be a son that would overthrow him the same way he overthrew his father Kronos. So he swallowed Methus, and then he was overcome with such a powerful headache that his head split open and Athena was born.
Interesting.
Anyway, we've gone on about Greek. I don't know how much people really want to hear about Greek mythology for real.
I mean,
but
it's a good
it's very
background
interesting.
and an interesting book. Can you tell me the name of it again?
It's called The Greek Myths by
Okay.
Robert Graves.
Okay. Maybe when I upload this to our YouTube channel, I'll see if we can't include a link to that, maybe on Amazon or something, so you can go support it if you decide to.
I actually don't know how available it is. This was Dad's.
Oh, shit.
I already have somebody in line to borrow this from me when it's finished.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Wait, let me see that this works. Okay, you see the beer foam I got here, right?
I do indeed.
If you like get the grease off your nose and then touch the grease with it, it's supposed to like go down faster. It definitely works with soda. It looks like it's working kind of. It's very difficult to see, and I can't tip the thing toward my computer because it'll spill it on my keyboard.
It's definitely gone down, but I think that might just be because you touched it. I don't think that it's necessarily due to the grease.
I want to get a test going where I'll have a control. I pour 2 cans at the same time, same rate, into 2 same size vessels.
Do one with your nose and one just normal.
One with the nose. But I've done this at work because the soda at work.
If you lay a straw across the top of a soda thing while you pour into it, the foam won't go above the straw.
I have heard similar things about boiling. It's like you're supposed to put like a long spoon across a pot,
so it doesn't boil
over. From overboiling. But what I did was I actually, before I poured the soda, did a little science experiment. I did this and I put it inside the cup, and the root beer famously will it bubble over, and it did not.
Curious.
So further testing is required, but I think we're onto something.
Could be. Huh.
Could be.
Could be. Quite fascinating.
So the foam also tastes like shit. By itself, not good.
Entirely unsurprising. I recently found my new favorite wine.
Was it the Sauv Blanc?
No, the Sauvignon Blanc was good. But I took a picture. Let me find it.
Okay.
It is called.
That's pretty alright.
Jennifer Pfeiffer's "Rocket Like a Redhead," and it is called a Shiraz.
Shiraz?
Yes.
Red?
The bottle looks like this.
That reminds me of Bodacious, in a way.
It's quite a beautiful label.
It is. Very
artistic. If I were to go buy wine from a store, I'd probably buy that wine. I'm still working. I'm on my last bottle sent to me by that company.
How long did it last you? 8 bottles?
I think it was 6 bottles.
6 bottles. You sure?
Might have been 8.
Yeah, it's probably 6.
But I don't know.
Too much wine. You can't even tell the difference anymore. My first favorite was a Zinfandel, a white. It was actually Aldi's own brand of white wine. I loved it.
Huh.
So
Whites
good.
Tend to be too sweet for me. Like I used to like sweet wine a bit, but it's I'm now more into the taste and I don't know. I think I've just transitioned my taste to reds instead. I
think it's house ownership.
Sometimes they have a deeper like flavor rather than whites, which are just kind of like sweet. That's it.
That's fair. I mean, like, you see a lot of wines where you kind of know it's like, oh, that's just like will have like a less complex taste.
Yeah.
Like Girls' Night Out, let's say. Girls' Night Out brand wine.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like,
or box wine, typically.
You want to get fucked up but not taste it?
Yep. That's like Natty Light.
Yeah.
It's like decent alcohol content, but it's basically carbonated beer water. And that's it.
Rabbit's piss.
And it's cheap, so students enjoy it. Yeah. Well, Bean has fallen asleep on my lap again, so...
Well, now we gotta stay here and do another 2-hour episodes.
I got a cast in 30 minutes. I don't know when I'll go live with that stream.
Oh, shit. Dude, time passes so fast, but the last one ended at like...
6:30.
7:30. So it's only been an hour since then.
But yeah. but still, I don't feel like
Holy
it's been
shit.
an hour since that stream ended, to be honest.
Right?
I sent you an interesting video.
You sent me a lot of you send me a lot of stuff in the Discord, and you don't mention it. You just leave it there.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're
I
just
mean, I
like
mention it once in a while.
here, have that. But
Yeah.
it's like I feel like I'm gonna miss them because I don't always click them all
Just
immediately.
like go through every once in a while and watch a couple or something.
I should. The awesome restorations. I really do appreciate that though, because I'm. I don't know if I told you this. I assume I had because how else would you know? I'm a huge fan of restoration videos.
I think you showed me the first restoration video I ever watched, and it was an axe head.
Okay.
So I think so. I think you have mentioned that, and that's I think why I thought of you when I saw that. But
Well, thanks for saying. Hey, you thought of me, and we weren't even interacting at the time.
I think of you when I see certain things all the time, like the taquito thing that I mentioned earlier. I bought
Yeah.
the taquitos, and I was like, this is gonna be just like watching Netflix with Lexus back in the day. I was like, it's literally exactly the same. I like threw them in the oven, and I was like, gonna have these motherfucking taquitos, getting into it, you know. And I was like, yeah, this is me and Lexus back in the day, boy.
Holy shit, dude! I wish I could have more experiences like that, but we don't have any Chipotles here in Barrie. The nearest one is in Toronto, and I'm pretty sure it's closed right now. So if I wanted Chipotle, I would have to go from here to Yorkdale Mall. Well, there's like 7, maybe, Chipotles in Toronto. I've only been to 2 of them, and one of them I didn't even go in. But one of them is a Chipotle in a food court. Let me tell you, this is the most amazing mall I've ever been to. It's called Yorkdale Mall.
Okay.
It's in York, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And it's a trip, dude. The place is huge. It has a Tesla store. It has a Dyson store.
Those are 2 in-person stores I never thought I would hear of.
I know. The Dyson store literally sells fans and vacuums and hair dryers, and that's it. But it's Dyson, so it's like there's like 4 display. They're like pedestals, right? They're like this
that's
wide.
Only 4 things they sell.
Yeah, and then it's like on the sides, it's like a box or whatever. But then on the top, it's like a white plastic translucent sheet that is lit from underneath, and then they have the things displayed on top. It's like super futuristic looking, and then the Tesla store, obviously. But they have a Gucci store, they have a Coach store, they have all kinds of. Dude, this place, I'm telling you, this fucking mall is amazing. They have a whole movie theater. Well, that's not a huge deal, but they have a Cineplex movie theater. They have like a Sport Check. They got all kinds of shoe stores and clothing stores. They got restaurants, and the food court has a Chipotle in it, which I've never seen anywhere else. Oh my goodness, dude. Damn. This place is literally amazing. You should just, honestly, I might just find some pictures and send them to you about fucking how cool this place looks. And it's massive.
Okay,
they have a cheesecake factory.
What the hell?
And it's a part of the building, as opposed to the one in our hometown, which was separate.
That was a good mall, though.
I do enjoy the hometown mall. I'm a big fan of the Cheesecake Factory because they are known for their excessively large portions. And by excessively, I mean just enough.
Yeah. But anyway, this video that I sent you.
Yes, sorry.
Is this guy named Mover. That's his call sign. He was a F-18 Hornet pilot.
Oh.
He's rather intelligent for a military man, if I do say so myself. What?
Okay. Backhanded compliment?
Yeah.
We're really like complimenting him and then just like trashing the entirety of the military.
I live in a military town 5 minutes away from a militay base. You think I see a lot of intelligent people around here? Nobody around here is leading by a good example.
No. Is that in specific reference to Corona stuff or otherwise?
Everything.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you have more perspective than I would. I enjoy the people who I met from the military, but that's really limited to very few people. Anyway, please do continue. Mover.
Yeah. Anyway,
F-18 Hornet pilot.
He has good insights, and he does this series called Mover Ruins Movies.
I love that.
And he goes through movie scenes or video game. Actually, he did the Battlefield 4 jet fighter mission, and he critiqued it.
Oh.
I'm watching this video right now that I sent you. He did the movie Flight with Denzel Washington.
He's like drunk.
Yeah, he's doing that right now. Super interesting. His videos are like 15 to 20 minutes long.
Hmm.
You can skip through them. I mean, he usually gives you an indication of like where things are in the video. Like he's clearly aware of his various types of audience. Like some people watch the first like 10 minutes, some people watch the middle 10 minutes, some people watch the whole thing. Some people are only here to see him fly a jet or some shit. So he has a good mix of everything on there. Um, but his Mover Ruins things series is really interesting. And it gives, you know how like you do something and you're like, man, people who do this must have things that you don't even know that you don't know. Like you walk on
Yeah,
Open and you're like, there's things going on here that I have literally no idea about.
there are 4 stages of
Knowledge,
cognizance
cognizance, good, yeah.
in the acquisition of new skills.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
Ignorance, learning, knowing enough that you think you know everything but don't, and then actually knowing everything.
You basically got the 4 steps. I think they might have been a little out of order. So the way that it goes is unconscious incompetence,
Okay.
where you don't know how bad you are.
Consciousness.
The next step is conscious incompetence, where you know enough about it to know you're not very good.
Okay, fair enough.
The next step is conscious competence, where you're familiar enough that you're good and you know it. And then the last step, which is mastery, is unconscious competence, where you just do it.
Okay, fair enough.
And you're good at it.
So mine was missing mine had essentially like the conscious competence.
Yeah.
Stage.
And the conscious incompetence.
Yeah. So the conscious competence is like where most people know enough that they think they know a lot, but sometimes they know enough about it that they make assertions.
They close them. Yeah.
And those are actually incorrect about that topic. Like everything that Neil deGrasse Tyson says, essentially, about everything except astrophysics.
Remember when Neil deGrasse Tyson was like the internet's homeboy, and then it feels like the internet does that so often. I'm surprised Keanu hasn't been ousted yet, but he is
something, and then they realized that person's not actually that great. But Keanu, I think, doesn't have.
There's nothing wrong with him.
I'm gonna say this, and then tomorrow something. He's like Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Like Tom Hanks, don't think he's ever had a scandal. He's pretty rich, and that's the only thing wrong with him, because he flaunts that sometimes. But I mean, who wouldn't if they had that much money? I mean, remember the video where he was talking with Kimmel about going on vacation with Obama? No. Okay, it's a funny video. I'll have to find it and show it to you.
Okay.
Let me just see if I can search this real quick so I don't forget. Tom Hanks vacation Obama. It's
Geico is giving new and current.
Tom Hanks is like the perfect person
on their motorcycle policies with a Geico give back, and because we're committed for the long
Don't you think?
haul. You said Tom Hanks is the perfect person?
Yeah.
All right, this is the video, and you have to. This is actually something that you should watch right after we're done.
Okay. No, I lied. Okay. Mr. Rogers was the perfect person, but Tom Hanks is the only person who could have played him.
That's true. Fuck you, Bubba Tug. It's so to me instead. That's Al, by the way, in chat.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, like, I feel like Keanu Reeves is the person that the internet latched onto. That's the most like Tom Hanks, where he's just like a homeboy and like can't really. Like,
he does no wrong.
He may make like an over assertion every once in a while, or like talk about something, but he's really humble usually, and I don't think he's ever like outright been like the Neil deGrasse Tyson point of unconscious incompetence.
I feel like the only thing that Tom Hanks would really assert himself on is typewriters.
Why? Is he like a typewriter expert?
He's a massive fucking typewriter. He owns like at least 24 typewriters. He's a big fan. Like someone sent him a typewriter as a gift. Like a fan. And he typed them up, like, because he's a known typewriter fan. And he typed them up a response letter on the typewriter. And it was like really short, but very Tom Hanks, very sweet. And then he did like, they did this series for a while. It was like celebrities with interesting skills. And Dakota Johnson, who played the main character in the 50 Shades movies, her skill was putting things in her tooth gap. But Tom Hanks showed everyone how to change.
Celebrities with interesting topics?
I don't even know what the fuck it was. You'd probably have better luck searching up.
a YouTube video or?
I think it was, yeah. But just like search Dakota Johnson tooth gap or Tom Hanks replacing ink ribbon, because that's his special skill that he did. He's like, I'm here today to show you how to replace an ink ribbon, and it was just real simple and real lovely. And I feel like there's a lot of
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair.
Secret Talent Theater.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check that series out. That sounds quite interesting.
Yeah, if you want to see Dakota Johnson put a credit card in her tooth gap.
Secret Talent Theater. Yeah, it's a whole ass 30 video playlist. I'm gonna watch these all tonight. They're all like a minute long, so I can watch them all while I'm like eating dinner or some shit.
Or we're not watching Too Hot to Handle. You know what? Here's a completely off-topic thing. I felt like the main character in the 50 Shades movies was supposed to be hotter.
Than
like
Dakota Johnson or than the guy?
Than Dakota Johnson. I was like, Dakota Johnson isn't that, but then like
fair enough.
She does have the attractiveness to her, and to be fair,
she's like the girl you see in school where she's like doesn't know she's pretty, but she's like just at that point where she's like the secret.
She's not. It's not like, oh my god, you're gorgeous, but she is attractive.
Yeah.
But then I was like, in the beginning I was dubious, but then I guess it makes more sense contextually for her to be not an uber fucking model, of course, because the whole concept is that she just is a woman that exists, and then some guy is completely like, oh dude, I wanna fuck you while I break your skin with my whips. I don't know. I haven't read the books.
Me either, and I don't think I've seen the movies.
I saw one of the movies. I watched it with our mutual school teacher friend.
Really?
And the girl that you used to have a crush on, I think. Her last name is a color.
I'm blanking. Did you send it to me?
Yes. Just in the Discord, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. I remember one time, the only time, but I remember you coming out of the cut. You were just like, "Have you ever met this girl?" And I was like, "Yeah." And you're like, "She's pretty cool." I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I was like, "There's something there. There's something there, motherfucker." I knew her. God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I kissed her a lot.
Nice. She's gay now.
No way. No. No way.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
I'm gonna have to check up on that because she was like very religious for a long time.
Yep.
So I mean, not that being homosexual and religious are mutually exclusive, obviously, but it just seems like a strange way to go. But then, maybe she was just closeted all that time and feeling pressure from her parents. She's her own adult now. She can do what she wants. What she wants.
But my parents thought I was gay for the longest fucking time.
Really? Is it because we spent so much time together, shirtless in your basement?
They weren't entirely wrong. So I mean, they had like half of it down.
To be fair.
But no, they definitely all the time told me, you know, it's okay if you're gay, right?
Oh my god, your parents did that too.
Yeah, dude.
My mom. It's like, you know, if you could tell me if you were, yeah, I would. Yeah, but I would still love you, you know? Yes, I assume you would, yes.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
So you can just, whenever you want. If I wanted to, I would, yes. If I were, yes. It's great. It's great when you don't see him for a while and then you have that conversation again.
Every time I came to college.
Yeah.
Even though I had been dating girls. Even when I was dating girls, I think.
When you were.
Yeah. I'm not dating anymore.
With a female at the... No, yeah, I mean like...
Like at the time, yeah. Like,
we know she's just a
especially that one... So. The one, like, the first high school relationship I ever had. Definitely got it's okay if you're gay a lot during that one. I can't tell whether that's like a slight dig
was so
at that
mannish?
person. Could be. She's fucking weird now. Did
Wasn't
get
she always?
pregnant?
She and her sister. I don't know.
That wouldn't surprise me. Her sister had like 6 kids.
Oh my god, dude.
Her
And
sister
she
was
was
like on
always
the
like,
same level as your like oldest sister, who actually has mellowed out a lot now. Shannon,
yeah,
sorry to say her
probably
name, but your sister's doing really
whatever.
well for herself now.
But probably more like the younger one now.
Definitely more like the younger one.
Yeah, but yeah, she was. I remember her talking about at marching band. She was describing the process of what it was like to to be in the process of what was it like healing after a C-section, and they cut her ribs or not her ribs, so they cut her abs apart in the middle, so
Yep.
the two
So they
sides
get
of her
sewed together
six-pack.
again. Yep.
Yeah, and so she couldn't. She was like, "Oh God, it's so hard for me to get up in the morning because I can't sit up anymore. I have to roll sideways off the bed." I'm like, "Does anyone fucking care? We're here to march. What are you talking about? Get out of here! They let you near kids?
Yeah, that was my thought exactly. I was like, how the fuck is Mr. N? By the way, super cool guy. Anybody, fuck him.
Okay.
Who cares? Being replaced by you know who now?
Yes.
I seriously, I was like, how does Mr. N let this bitch stay around?
For real. But then also, you might remember there was a fellow that we were in marching band with for some years. He joined the same year that I joined because he joined when he was younger, when he was in grade 8.
Yes.
And he eventually became drum major after you left.
Yep.
Yeah. And now he's been working on the marching band staff for like so long. And I'm like,
Wait, really?
what?
He's
Yeah.
stuck around.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He started dating this girl, and then they both worked on it together. I was like,
Do you
God,
remember?
dude. Like,
Remember how one of the members of my section was dating this Asian girl who was a senior when we were freshmen?
Asian girl senior, we were freshmen.
She would come back with her boyfriend after they had all broken up and everything. And anyway,
Which section?
my section, the Utoniums,
Okay, because you were in the trumpets. Don't forget.
my senior year.
Fair. So
Anyway, my sophomore year, she was a senior. Asian girl in the color guard.
in a color guard, okay, that makes it more complex because it was difficult.
Anyway, she would bring
Yes.
her boyfriend back to the fucking marching band, and he'd act all like high and mighty, and like he'd do that thing where he turned around and faced the other direction, then did like the cupping thing with his ears, and I was like, "Who the fuck are you? Like, go away! Stop
Yeah.
doing this
see,
like
honestly,
weird bullshit like that makes you seem like you're cool and know more than you do. You're literally a freshman in college."
Yeah. Dude, people, I feel like 50% of the people who came to visit the marching band, it was like, oh my god! And 50% was like, oh my god.
Just go away. Stop visiting. Fuck you.
Yeah. Don't come around anymore.
All right, we gotta finish this conversation up.
Oh, that's right.
Or
We
wrap
could
it up
just
enough that I can restart the stream to re-gear it towards the Counter-Strike that I'm about to cast.
Yes.
So I will end the stream real quick. Thank you for
Okay.
attending.
Just
See
a
you
quick
next-
little bit because we were talking and it was like, let's talk on
Ow.
stream. So if you nailed it, then nailed it. Congratulations, you nailed it. And if not, I mean, is this VODable?
Yeah, and I'm gonna upload it to YouTube.
All right. So you might be watching it on YouTube. In which case, hello from the past. Corona's going on right now. I hope it got better.
It definitely did not. Goodbye.
Oh.